Today we're talking about Tribe.
White labeling, and the reason why we are successful in that is even when we are mass producing a product, it gives the feel of one of a kind.
What strategies have really worked in your view?
We are the only jewelry company which is doing such a big differentiation in terms of price.
Marketing is a challenge or?
Algorithms have changed, our attention span has changed. Trigger was the offline experience,
right,
which then converted into an online sale.
What you're looking for when you form these partnerships, is it the persona or is it just a numbers game?
Now with Tribe, our ethos has been whatever we have not done in Amrapali. We are out of the very few jewelry brands which are looking at the airports, and we are successful there.
Are there different challenges that you face in different places?
Recent challenges which we have seen is the fluctuation of metal prices, dealing with the logistics companies and negotiating bigger parcel deals.
You mentioned that Tribe is now 30 stores.
The target for the moment is to double up the stores in a period of 1.5 to 2 years maximum.
Hi, this is Anjana, and you're watching Indian Jewelers How Did You Do It series. Today we're sitting with Tarang Arora of Amrapali, a brand that is renowned for its craftsmanship. I mean, there's a lot that Amrapali has done brilliantly. Most of you all have seen the Amrapali Museum. But today we're talking about Tribe and creating a sub-brand that appeals to a whole different market. Yeah, welcome to the show, Tarang. Thank you for taking the time to meet us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
We were talking about this a little bit earlier. Before Tribe, Amrapali was positioned in the luxury segment exclusively. And you would see it in stores like Harrods, high-end boutiques around the world. Right, so what was the, what did you all recognize in the market, and why did you all decide to make the shift? And, well, sorry, not to make the shift, but to create this sub-brand?
So, we've been around the country. We have expanded the brand. Before my dad and uncle who started, the founders, Mr. Rajiv Arora and Rajesh Ajmera, it was primarily a silver brand. It was always... they always concentrated on hand craftsmanship, which we still do. So, so the ethos which we took from those ideas, tribal jewelry are still a lot of our pieces. Most of our pieces are going to be inspired by tribal. Exactly. So that's something very important we do. Taking hand craftsmanship ahead and reviving them, and making sure the next generation of jewelry manufacturers, jewelry karigars are still in the business. So I think this was always the ethos with what my dad and uncle started the brand with. While growing across the country and internationally, as you mentioned, we started also growing our manufacturing capacity and capability. We do a lot of white labeling. For the consecutive 12 years, we're the highest exporter of fashion jewelry out of the country. So that is
white label.
That is white label. And there's a separate part of the business which people don't even know about.
Yeah, I was completely surprised.
Yeah. So when we were doing that, that's when we realized that, we are making all these pieces of jewelry, which is doing extremely well abroad, and we are still doing that.
Yes.
But that is a vacuum which we see in the Indian market.
Right.
Though Amrapali is transitioning from silver or from price point to a lot more finer pieces, even in silver, we are making more and more one-of-a-kind exclusive pieces, and that was the USP and is the USP for the main brand. Someone would walk into an Amrapali and maybe still pick up a 10,000 rupee necklace, which is in silver, but she is confident that when she's going to be wearing it in a room, there's not going to be another one.
Absolutely.
Contradicting to that completely was the idea of Tribe.
Yeah.
That how can we make something which is going to be, has to be price point, which is not intimidating for someone to walk into an Amrapali boutique and think, oh, am I walking into a luxury boutique? Will I be able to afford? Do they have something which is in my budget? So to cut that whole situation down, we thought of Tribe. Primarily at that time, it was started by my wife, and she just started it as a fun project, mainly to put it up on Facebook, because Facebook was really big at that time. It was just social media was exploding. We would have clients who would be like, how do we shop your pieces sitting from California?
Right.
So first of all, we started Facebook, we started putting these things out. that's when they were like, we want to shop this, how to do that.
I see.
So Akanksha created Tribe Amrapali website.
I see.
At that time, it wasn't a carved out business.
Right.
It was just something which she thought would be correct to put online, something which we can reproduce.
Okay.
If there is someone who wants more, and if you've put an image and multiple clients are interested, then and that is something which we did not know how to do it. So this was the testing part of it. And after that, I think Tribe has taken off. And we are at the moment looking at 30 stores in the country. After COVID, we have kind of aligned our business, very focused to Tribe, not just her, me, my dad, my uncle, everyone in the family, and everyone involved in the business is making sure that our attention and our efforts are going to promote Tribe, make it bigger, make it more successful.
And just to clarify again, so this wasn't a response to any market signals, is what you're saying, it was more intuitive?
I think it was both, because definitely it was intuitive for her to start it, but and then the market asked for it.
Right.
That how do we purchase more? How do we do more? And then that's when we started figuring out that why can't we create a brand which can be accessible, which can give the feel of one of a kind?
Yeah.
The reason why white labeling and the reason why we are successful in that part of the business versus a China or versus another mass production units across the world is that even when we are mass producing a product, it gives the feel of one of a kind.
Yeah, the craftsmanship.
The craftsmanship.
That you're not compromising on.
We are using a lot of handwork, no matter what.
Yeah.
So we are not producing jewelry as a cut copy paste, which you would see in any jewelry in a mass production unit.
Yeah.
We are making sure that it is handcrafted by the end of it. There is human intervention and there is a soul to the piece.
Yeah.
And I think that is the most important thing why someone walks into an Amrapali boutique.
Within the store itself, you have so many different price bands, right?
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about the pricing that you have? So you have the fine jewelry, you have the silver as well, you have the silver that's gold plated, and then you have the and of course also for Tribe. So what is the price point there?
Again, something which my dad often says. He believes that if we are the only brand or company in the world, jewelry company, which is doing such a big differentiation in terms of price, right? So we are selling a product under Tribe, which could be a simple nose ring for $500.
Yes. Wow.
And then you can come to the fine jewelry and you can go to $1 million or above.
Yeah.
So a complete jewelry integrated company which is able to produce all different levels of jewelry. And we have craftsmen. Today we have over 2,000 craftsmen in our workshops in Jaipur, doing various kinds of jewelry making. The most amazing part is these guys are so well trained and so versatile that I can use them in creating a fashion jewelry piece or a silver jewelry piece or a gold jewelry piece.
Yeah.
And for us, I think that is the winning part.
Yeah.
That a karigar who's making a gold piece can actually be sent to make a fashion jewelry or silver jewelry piece. We do not differentiate it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what we're creating is a piece of jewelry. It is going to find a neck. It is going to find, someone who's going to enjoy wearing it. So it doesn't matter. It is the emotion which matters. And I think we have learned that it is when the finest craftsmanship is there at all level, not barred with price range.
It's a very difficult balance to strike between having that personal interaction and connection with customers and selling online are two very difficult things to do. What were some of the challenges that you all faced while setting that up?
I think e-commerce is you don't face challenges when you're setting it up. You face challenges throughout.
The operational challenges?
Always.
Yeah.
I think it is a mammoth of business where there's so much more traction, especially after COVID.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
Everyone's in there. The marketing part of it is a challenge. And I think...
marketing is a challenge, or were you saying that post-COVID, like sales have in fact increased?
No, so the cost of marketing has increased also. So what I can achieve for $1,000 before COVID, post-COVID, I can't achieve that for $1,000 anymore. Algorithms have changed. Our attention span has changed. We are swiping a lot more faster. A TV ad would last 30, 40 seconds back in the day. Now it has to last 7, 8 seconds because your attention span has changed. So there's so many different factors which has changed, and Meta or Google knows this, and they know how to maximize their business also. That's what they're doing. So I think those challenges are to stay. We at the brand level are very thoughtful of our product. I think that is what we believe in the most, that if you have the right product, if you have the right quality of product, that will always be the winner at the end of the day. You cannot sell a sub-quality, substandard product and market it well and then expect it to always do better. You rather spend more time, effort into making the product much better, market it not as strong maybe like the others are doing. You're in the game for a long period because your product is going to be a better quality product. Even when we are making a fashion jewelry product, a brass product, the emotion which it gives is that it's not junk jewelry. It's something which I'm going to hold on to. It's something which I'm going to give my sister to wear as gifts which are given at weddings.
So perfect for that.
It's perfect for that. It's perfect for traveling for a wedding. Today we have so many destination weddings. You don't want to take fine jewelry all the time with you. You can take fine jewelry for certain things, but majority, you don't want to be in a pool party wearing a fine jewelry piece and then getting pushed into the swimming pool or something. And that happens. Right? So I think, we and again, you're in a hotel. You have to take care of it. You could be worried about it. So we've put all of that, a lot of thought towards that, and I think those are very important marketing tools also for us. These stories, these emotions with which we design and think for a jewelry piece, they eventually become our marketing tool, and that helps us marketing our product online or offline.
But of course, when you want the customer to appreciate a product, aside from the craftsmanship, storytelling is so important, even to explain to people, right, that this is the craft, this is the indigenous craft, and this is what this is based on, which you have done phenomenally, I have to say. Then there's packaging. That's important. Logistically, are there challenges that you face in terms of the packaging and then sort of sending, especially when you're doing white labeling or sending it across to different places, different parts of the world?
With Tribe and internally, yes, these were challenges. We have obviously overcome all of them. Now, being in the business for so long, we have our flat packs. The way we use them, we have layers. What I'm not able to still crack, to be very honest, which I really want to do, is be still sustainable, because the products we still end up using in jewelry is still not sustainable
in the packaging
part of it, which I'm constantly trying to find a solution to. I think enough logistic partners in the country today, and them wanting the business as well, and fighting to get the business, obviously puts us in your favor. Exactly. So that works very well. Obviously dealing with the logistics companies and negotiating bigger parcel deals, that X amount of parcels are minimum guarantees which we will give you per month. And I think today we are very well connected. We have lots of pin codes covered, and it works very well. So while talking to you as well, now when I'm thinking, it's such a complete different business, which we also sometimes forget, versus what we are selling at a fine jewelry level, where we are sitting with a client ourselves. Where a client comes, takes an appointment, versus what's happening in the tribe world of Amrapali.
But where all do you ship to, and which geography would you say is really your biggest?
So internationally, after India, it's going to be America, which does the most business. But the 3-4 countries which we have the highest amount of sales is America, then UK, and then the Middle East, UAE.
I see.
These are the three important.
The Middle East as well.
Is very important.
For Tribe.
For Tribe.
That's very interesting.
Very, very important. So these three segments are the most important geographically after India. And within India, the more stores we open in a city, that city does very well offline, but also gives us a great business online, which is also very important for us. So the visibility, as you're increasing your visibility, say in a Delhi, the online sales for Delhi also increases with offline presence.
Yeah.
So I think now the time ahead is of having the offline online together.
Yeah, the hybrid
system or omnichannel system. That is what we are working towards a lot.
Yes.
Having loyalty programs in place works very well. So, and I think when you're doing something like this at the moment, and as a brand, when we're doing something like this, we are constantly learning, right? My dad always has said this to me, that you always learn from your clients, right? Customer is always correct, first of all.
Sure.
Yeah, if he or she feels that this is the way it is, you have to figure out how to make it correct.
Give them what
they want at the end of the day. So now stepping onto the other side, I was at a hotel recently, checking out. They put in my details. The guy says, so you have X amount of points. I said, from what points? Like, this is from your phone number, I can see you have X amount of points, and this will cover your 3-day stay in the hotel. I said, really? He said, yes. I said, okay, perfect. He said, should I use it? I said, of course, please do. And I walked out in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That experience just triggered that in my mind, that why can we not give that experience to our clients?
Right.
That when a client is checking out, why cannot a client not ask that what is the balance of my loyalty points? Can the staff say that, sir, ma'am, this is your loyalty points, and you're paying 10,000 or 12,000, 6,000 can be covered from that.
Yeah.
That just gives you that, and it's not a 5,000, 6,000 is not a big amount of money, but it gives that satisfaction, that fun, that, oh, I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So I think the way we are growing, the way this segment is growing in our country, in not just in jewelry, in other parts also, we have these learnings which we are regularly taking, trying to implement them how we can in our businesses.
Real estate is, of course, extremely expensive. So do you feel that it's going to be, when you plan all of this, that you're going to sort of shift to, while it will be omnichannel, will it be more e-commerce vis-a-vis physical spaces?
I think we always, when we started the brand as well, the idea was always more online. But over the years, we have realized, and it was definitely a blessing during COVID, that the businesses were running the way they were running, because there was an online presence, and it was a strong online presence. But I think offline is extremely, extremely important.
Even for Tribe.
But once you've given that experience offline, then the client can be converted into an online client.
I see.
And that is very important. Once they walk into a Tribe store, once they walk into an Amrapali store, they see what the brand is all about. Both the brands are all about, and then they are very comfortable to shop online. And I think this is what the case was when I said initially, when we would get special requests from California saying that where can we buy these pieces, to Akanksha when she started it. They knew the brand. They would come to India. It was a must-go place for them, that they would come to an Amrapali store. They knew the experience in the store. They knew the pieces. They knew the quality. And they were ready to spend $200, $300, $500 12 years ago, 10 years ago. Right? Without even coming in. But the experience, the trigger was the offline experience, which then converted into an online sale.
Got it.
So I think that is always going to be very important for us.
But you talked earlier about marketing budgets going up as well. But is it very difficult to engage the younger, maybe more budget conscious customer? And do you then invest in a lot of influencer marketing, and what sort of strategies?
So we've done all of those. I think influencer marketing is a little slow at the moment. But user generated content is what is doing very well.
That's right.
We And funnily enough, if you see with the main brand, we do not advertise.
Yeah.
We have never advertised in Amrapali.
Yes.
My father was a marketing. He did his MBA in marketing.
Okay.
And he always said that when I was being taught all of this, everyone was thinking in that way that, okay, how do I give the best ads? And if I've given an ad on a product, how do I sell this product the most? And that is what a marketing guy. And he said, I was thinking completely the different way. I'm thinking if everyone's going to do that, then I should be focusing on my product, creating ambassadors of my product. So he was doing user-generated content
back in the day,
45 years ago, when they started the brand. So these guys would find, and I always give this example because this is what I've seen and I've known from them. They'll find a beautiful old piece of a necklace, which has, say, maybe 40 pendants. They'll take that apart. They'll make them into 20 earrings, add some value to it, convert them into earrings, and then sell it to 20 clients. Now, what they could have done was redo that old necklace which they found from the tribal area and sell it to one client. They sold it to 20 clients. They made 20 clients. They had better profitability because they can charge a little bit more in selling one piece. They'll sell these a lot more faster because it's going to be cheaper than selling one bigger expensive piece. Right? And always word of mouth was their idea. Right? So
you've got multiple clients.
Exactly. So I think that was their idea. And so with Amrapali, we've always done that. And now with Tribe, our ethos has been whatever we have not done in Amrapali or whatever we don't do in Amrapali. Let's do all of that in Tribe. So we don't have stores which look exactly the same. With Tribe, you'll see all the stores look the same. We do not do any marketing for Amrapali. With Tribe, we do a lot of marketing. We do a lot of influencer, UGC. We have done events. We do in-store events, collaborations, which we have done over the years, which have been very exciting as well. We have done this with Masaba Gupta in Tribe. We have done one with Arora back in the day as well. We are, and not just, I think, collaborations with a designer, but in that brand, we are collaborating with an artist at everyday level, right? So we are doing
framed paintings. That was sort of
the little painting,
beautiful.
Jewellery. If you'll see now in Amrapali, yes, we have those. And maybe we'll create X amount. But the moment we need this in Tribe, you have to realize that we have to make the same painting. Multiple of those.
Of course.
For the whole collection, which will go to 30 stores and go offline. So what we are doing is we are multiplying that work to such a massive level that we are giving employment to the artisan as well. Right, which is eventually the idea for us as well. So collaborations in this way as well is very, very important. Certain craftsmen who we have worked with were 2 of them in the family. Today they have teams of 40. All working for us. So the 2,000 craftsmen which I talked about early on is in our factory, in our workshops in Jaipur. There are 4 of them. Now what I'm telling you about is not something which is under our control. Are these individual cottage industries which we are promoting across Jaipur, across Rajasthan. We are framing textiles. We have a Banaras collection, which is beautiful because it has silks. It has various kinds of fabrics which we are creating jewelry out of, in silver, in fashion as well. So I think that is what is most exciting for us in Tribe and gives us this marketing edge, I feel.
So do you have a research department that sort of looks into all of this?
Well, I think it's, I do not want to call them the research department. It's within the design team. And within that, what inputs we get from the merchandising team, what we get inputs from the salespeople, the sales team, and also seeing what the competition is doing around and what the competition is, what is working for everyone else. when you are in malls, when you are in airports, everything is very transparent.
Yeah.
We know the numbers of what the neighbor is doing. The neighbors knows our numbers.
Sure.
I think we are all feeding on each other's expertise. So if someone's doing extremely well selling kurtas or outfits next to us, eventually we expect that client, if has 20 minutes more, to walk into our store and pick up a earring as well to match what she has just picked up.
Yeah.
So I think that ecosystem really helps.
Yeah.
And being around that ecosystem really helps.
Yeah. Now you spoke about this collaboration with Masaba, for example, right? What you're looking for when you form these partnerships, is it the persona that needs to align with what your brand stands for? Or is it just a numbers game?
No. So numbers game. Till today, it's not been the numbers game. Okay. And that is why I sometimes keep feeling that we are just so over passionate about our business that we forget the business sense of it sometimes. We are so passionate about creating the right product. We are so passionate about the delivery and the packaging and everything. And then we are like, okay, but the numbers need to make sense as well, which we do that, and they are good. Yeah. But we need to put a lot more effort into that as well. I feel. Not just this, but the majority of the reasons why we are doing these collaborations, or we end up using different designers, artisans also, is to open up different gateways and doorways and areas for us, which we do not end up thinking about. I see. And everyone else around you who you're working with has a better understanding of things which you want them to do for you or collaborate with you. Yeah. And they are able to give that edge to your they have their system. Own inputs. So again, with Masaba, we did this collection which was called Gana Gana, and I think simple thing, Masaba's like, no, let's go for the gold color like this, not like that. Yeah. Right? And that just changes the whole collection. And you think of it as a product, but when you see 35 of them in a case, it looks different. It feels different than the rest of the store. And we did not think of it in that way. And she did. Yeah. Or the craft, and we have tortoise, we have alligators in the collection. Yeah. We maybe would have not done that. Right. But she did that because that is the motive she wanted to play with. Sure. So I think these are the things which we are usually looking for when we are looking at a collaboration. Oh, that's very interesting. You mentioned that Tribe is now 30 stores. Yeah. Right? And you have a presence, and you're retailing, you're selling overseas as well. Yeah. Through your e-commerce platform. Do you have retail partners overseas? We do have retail partners overseas. They would be shop in shops. Okay. So they would come in, they would purchase, they will buy from us, and then they present us internationally. I think what COVID and post-COVID, and I keep saying that line, has taught us is that our country has so much more. There's so much going on. There's such a strong future. And the growth which we are seeing in every aspect. Yeah. I mean, if you see the stock markets, if you see FMCG doing what they're doing, if you see with IPL, I mean, I'm saying every segment if you pick up with movies, I mean, it was, this is a 100 crore movie, then it became a 500 crore movie, then it became a 1,000 crore movie. Yeah. And I think everything is just exploring so much that after doing this in London and the New Yorks and all of that, I just feel that there's so much more in our country. Yeah. Why am I going? Yeah. Why am I flying 16 hours away, 14 hours away with the time difference and trying to crack my head to find and get something done there? Yeah. When we are the market leaders in India and people know us, and we're inventing the wheel there, we're trying to introduce ourselves there. Yeah. When the client knows us in India, right? So might as well utilize that. Yes, absolutely. Right? And learn from this because the future is here. Yeah. So 2 questions from there. One is, when we talk about this expansion that you are seeing, what strategies have really worked in your view? You know, what's worked, what hasn't? And secondly, when you're working with different geographies, are there different challenges that you face in different places? So what has worked for us while expanding? Yeah. We are out of the very few jewelry brands which are looking at the airports, and we are successful there. and we're expanding at the airports, and it has, and we feel that is a very good and strong future.
Yeah, so you're waiting around, to catch your flight, and
Exactly.
why would you not pick up a pair of earrings or something?
Yeah. Introducing more products. We have the home range, which we have introduced in Tribe. We have little Ganesh G's and little, those work very well at the festive season. Lakshmi Ji, and so we have the Tribe home. Then we have candle stands.
Yeah.
I'll do something which is doing very well for us is our photo frames.
Yes.
Which is a new product which we have introduced. We have introduced handbags now.
Right.
This is 2 weeks, 3 weeks back.
Yes.
So I think we are ready to experiment.
Yes.
Wherever we can add value, and to be able to give that Indian tribe touch to those segments also, and expand. So I think that is something which has been working for us very well.
Right.
And challenges
we're dealing with different geographies.
is mainly we cannot export to, say, Russia.
Right.
For example, we cannot export to certain countries. Regulatory challenges are something which we face on a daily basis. Some import duties are issues which we face. The good part is there's different import duties on different metals.
Right.
So that kind of works if someone's buying something. It works for the other one.
Right.
But as I originally said, that America is something which we work with very strongly. In the top 3, US, UK and UAE, it's fairly easy to work in all the 3 geographies. So that works quite well and easy.
Inventory management strategies, because you're dealing with such massive volumes. Again, how, of course, technology would be really important in streamlining operations as well. But are there any specific tools that have been particularly helpful?
I think so. When we started doing this, we thought that there are tools out there which are going to be very good with it. And we would like to. No, there are, but I think what we have figured out, every business has its own tools, which you need to recognize and realize what works for you, what works for your system, what works for your ecosystem, and what works for your thought processes.
Yes.
So yes, we have all the systems in place. We are on a very strict rollout in terms of what should be our inventory in every store. It is so, as a franchise owner, if someone would come, there is a very definitive, clear markations done. The challenges which we see, and the recent challenges which we have seen, is the fluctuation of metal prices. So especially silver. Gold has gone up as well, but that's a whole different ballgame. But silver has gone up tremendously as well. Now that changes everything in a Tribe store. Imagine a 20% jump. So if for a franchise owner to start a 350 square feet store needs an investment, say 50 to 70 lakhs, and they are looking at investing 70 lakhs, the number goes up straight away to 85 lakhs, 90 lakhs, right? So that changes significantly. That is the fit out cost which they had. 20 to 25 lakhs is my fit out cost. Now that is just going extra towards their inventory.
Absolutely.
So those are the kind of challenges which we sometimes get on an inventory. Increasing our brass production for them. Increasing our fashion jewelry production. Trying to create pieces in more price point. Introducing more metals. Trying to do things more effectively. I think because we have those tools in place of inventory management, gives these red signals, red flags to us in time, so we know how to plan and react to the next lot of jewelry which is going to go into production. Good part is, unlike a lot of other brands which are in our similar situation, they are not manufacturing themselves. We are manufacturers ourselves, which is definitely something very strong, which we are very proud of. That we can mold our manufacturing very quickly. In a week's time, things can completely turn, and that can be done by us. For another player to do that, it's going to take a long more time to react versus us.
But it's a very competitive segment, isn't it? And so how do you retain brand loyalty? How do you retain the customer?
Going to the first point or the starting point as well, quality, innovation.
Yeah.
Brand loyalty would come because we are actually giving a lot more time to our design and product than anything.
Okay.
So if you buy a product from someone similar to Tribe online, that product once worn at that price point of 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees, and walking around, they will not be able to pinpoint that if this is bought from China, or if it's bought from Amazon, or is it bought from a brand, right? At that price point. A Tribe product, you will be able to differentiate at that price point.
Same
also.
price point.
So the detail and the differentiation and the feel of what you're wearing is so much more different when you're wearing a Tribe product versus not being a generic product. Not being a necklace which looks like a diamond necklace, a CZ necklace for $6,000 which you have picked up. If you spend that $6,000 with Tribe, you will get something so unique, so different that will be a conversation point when you'll be wearing it.
Absolutely.
So that is, I think, our strongest point where we think that our brand loyalty lies. When they want to buy something which is going to be completely different. Funny story, I was in Ranthambore, which is, me and my wife, we love Ranthambore or go to jungles. I'm in Ranthambore about 2 years ago. We had a Jeep booked to go to the jungle. Our Jeep broke down.
Okay.
So I got a call saying that, sir, the Jeep's broken down, but it's only 2 of you. A Jeep can take 6 people. I have another Jeep, but I have already 3 people in it. Do you mind sharing it with them? I said, no, I have no problem. As long as we get 2 seats at the back, I'm okay. I will take my camera and water and 2 of us. So there's this lady sitting in front of me, that two gentlemen there. They are a group of 3, we are a group of 2 talking. Eventually start talking to them, blah, blah, blah. Right at the end, while leaving, I happened to ask the lady, I said, your earrings are beautiful. Where are they from? And she's like, there's a brand called Tribe in Delhi, in Select City Walk. I got it from there. I said, very good, nice. My wife looks at me and she's like, you recognize and these are like, for 1,800 rupees. Like very simple studs. And again, in all honesty, I did not know that design. But I knew the detailing of that design, that what she's wearing is who's doing that kind of look, who's finishing the spikes the way they have. There was a little enamel on it. So I just knew that this is not a...
it looks like something that would come from...
Exactly. So I asked her and she told me that. And I was so happy. And Akanksha is like, why are you... It's like a... I said, I'm happy about the fact that it stood out. I'm happy about the fact she knew this. It was
remembers the brand.
She remembers the brand, where she got it from. It's not something very expensive. And I have stumbled upon someone, not in a fashion scene, not in a fancy party, not as a regular person sitting on the in the Jeep. Like, what is the odds of that?
And genuinely enjoying your product.
Exactly. So I was very excited with that, and that is exactly what the product ethos is. That's what brings the clients back.
No, that's great, but you must have different touch points, right? The product is, of course, it's exquisite. You know? There is that, of course, and that'll bring the customer back. But there must be various touch points, right? So obviously the personalized experience of buying a piece of jewelry, the packaging, as we said again. I know a lot of brands, I don't know if brands in this segment do it, but a lot of the fine jewelry brands definitely court the customer a lot, right? So are there any other things that you all do to sort of maintain that connection to the customer?
So we've created these relationship with our customers. On the packaging part, let me say first, there are times when we are selling a product which is cheaper than the packaging.
Wow.
So, and that happens a lot. Right? But the idea is that it needs to be delivered to that client at that value. So by the time it's packaged, it's shipped out, and the costing of the shipping by the time it reaches, and if it's a 600 rupee nut, or a nose pin, as I was saying before, or a lip simple Bali, sometimes it's more expensive for us to ship it than that. But it's cost of acquisition of the client. I need that client to be happy and feel outstanding when they receive that piece versus anything else. So yeah, I think we work towards that a lot.
And just so I know as well, do you have that sort of repairs policy? And
well? So that's very easy. You can walk into an Amrapali store or get in touch with us, a Tribe store, and get them repolished and get them redone. But what I was telling you before was that relationship which we created with the client. Now we have clients who have gotten used to the fact, and we talk about it, publicize it, to do weddings, to do corporate gifting. We have had a client who called us saying, I have bought 18 of these necklaces online. I can't find more. And we're like, why are you buying 18 necklaces? Like, oh, it's my daughter's wedding. And I want to give something as a gift after her Hindi. So we said, okay, we'll do something else as well for you.
Oh, how lovely.
So then we created this, and then we are marketing this as well now. We are not just personally connected to a client when you're looking to buy a expensive piece of jewelry for the wedding, but we are one of the only brands who's able to do
personalized
the wedding piece, the redoing of your heirloom piece, which your grandmother has passed on, so you can wear it, and we are able to do your gifts. We are able to also ship this across wherever. So there have been solutions where we have created all of this, shipped it out of the country for the client to wear it, distribute the gifts as whatever, and then gotten the fine jewelry back, because that's another challenge which a client faces especially when they come to Amrapali and when they buy fine jewelry and if they're destination weddings for the bride.
So looking ahead, what are the plans for Tribe as well as for Amrapali, and are there any markets, any innovations?
Going ahead for Tribe, I think we are looking at opening more stores. We are on a run that we need to start more stores.
How many more stores?
Well, hopefully the target for the moment is to double up the stores in a period of 1.5 to 2 years maximum. We are on that scaling up segment at the moment, and hopefully that goes as planned. For Amrapali, I always feel that we are putting so much effort in Tribe. We have to make Amrapali, and we have to maintain the brand the way it has been. It should not confuse the client as well. There should be more demarcation. So I think that is also going to be more visible going ahead. We sometimes feel that there are confusion between both of them, and we are going to demark things a lot more stronger in the future.
Through marketing?
Through marketing, through in-store experiences, through product ranges.
I see.
So there will be this is going forward. Hopefully in the next 6-8 months, this is going to be a lot more visible. With Amrapali, there's always, and then I always keep saying this, oh no, not another store, because we are always opening stores. So Tribe stores are at least on an autopilot. Right? But Amrapali stores, like, we get involved ourselves a lot more. There's a new store coming up in Juhu, which will be up and ready hopefully by the end of Jan. It is with dear friends from Chennai who have this brand called Evoluzione. So it's an Amrapali Evoluzione store. There's an Amrapali Good Earth store coming up in Dubai.
Oh.
So that's also in Dubai.
When's that coming up?
That's also about the same time. So there's so much going on with Amrapali as well, which sometimes I feel that we need to slow down there and but it's simultaneous and it's very exciting. What I want to use more and more is going forward is technology. I think in our business, because it is it's a cottage industry business, we are not able to use technology very well. Now AI is part of technology in a very big way, or it is the forefront of everything. I think that is more something which we are going to give a lot more time to. My team is giving a lot more time to figure out what we can do with AI, what we can do with technology, what we can do with a lot of back-end making things simpler, easier, customer services as well. So I think that is probably the plan for the future for now.
Okay.
And more collaborations.
More collaborations.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to see that. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. This has been amazing.
Pleasure.
Thank you for being so candid. That was really amazing. I think we got a lot of great insights there.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to Jaipur.
Thank you. All right.